If you have a helper arm on top of the main tire machine crate, it's easier to unbox it and remove the pieces one at a time. Be sure to wear gloves and proper safety protection. Start by removing the plastic. Next, remove the shipping bracket from the column. This can be discarded. Remove the bolts from the chassis, both on top and at the back of the machine. There are 4 long bolts and 2 short ones. The short bolts go at the back of the machine. Be mindful of the air connection ports on the bottom of the column. If you're unable to lift the column onto the chassis by yourself, get someone to help. Fasten the column using the short bolts in the rear and the 4 longer bolts in the front. With the side panel removed, connect the air lines under the column. These use an 8mm push-connect air fitting that doesn't require any tools to attach. Inside the accessory box, you'll find a spring that needs to be installed on the swing arm shaft. To install it, first remove the plastic cap on top using an Allen key. With the shaft in its highest position, place the spring over the shaft, compress it, and reinstall the plastic cap to hold the spring in place. Now thread in the diameter adjustment knob. The column is an air storage tank, so be sure to install the rubber O-ring before threading in the gauge and pop valve. This will prevent leaks. Install the inflation console to the side of the column and connect the air line from the inflation console to the 90-degree push-connect fitting on the chassis. There are different lube brackets available depending on the type of tire lube you use. This video shows the smaller 4-inch lube bracket, but we also offer a larger 8-inch paste bracket and a separate bucket for liquid lube. The included tire bar can be conveniently stored in the bead breaker compartment. If you purchase the optional bead press helper arm, follow these next steps. First, remove the rubber stoppers, place the lower bracket under the chassis, and line up the 3 mounting holes on the bottom of the machine. Use the included bolts to fasten the bracket to the machine. Then, remove the bolts from the top of the bracket and position the upper portion of the helper arm as shown. Use a power tool to tighten the bolts on the lower bracket, then hand torque them to securely fasten in place. Inside the storage container, you'll find 2 additional nuts and bolts. These are used to fasten the helper arm to the upper portion of the chassis. Next, remove the 3 bolts from the helper arm shaft and push down on the air cylinder to its lowest position. The helper arm pin is threaded on one side and solid on the other. Use a screwdriver to slide half of the solid side of the pin into the larger 2-piece arm. Then, slide the smaller arm into the second half of the pin, keeping the screwdriver in place. Now lift both arms and the pin onto the helper arm shaft, lining up the holes. Fasten the top and middle bolts, then pull up the cylinder to line it up with the 3rd bottom hole and connect the cylinder shaft with the remaining bolt. Remove the bolt on the side of the helper arm and place it nearby. Attach the storage bracket to the helper arm, then bolt the storage bin to the bracket. This is an optional storage solution that can hold valve stems, caps, cores, and tools. The round bracket with the green O-ring is used to hold the helper arm cone. Next, we'll connect the air lines for the bead press helper arm. Cut a 2 to 3 inch piece of tubing and connect it to the bottom of the Y connector as shown. Then connect that small piece from the bottom of the Y into the 90-degree fitting to the left of the filter lubricator. Connect the air line coming out of the machine to the open spot on the Y connector. The third air line on the Y connects around the back of the machine to the helper arm. The FRL comes with a fitting, but you can remove it and install whatever style of air connection you use in your shop. Any 1/4-inch NPT fitting with thread sealant will work. Be careful not to over-tighten the fitting, as you could crack or damage the filter regulator bracket. Make sure the oil lubricator glass is at least half full with standard air tool oil. You can periodically check the lubricator and adjust the volume of oil being dispersed into the machine using a small flathead screwdriver. Turning it clockwise decreases oil flow, while counterclockwise increases it. Now attach the final plastic storage solution and reattach the side panel cover. We recommend carefully removing the machine from the pallet. This is a 2- or 3-person job. However, since this particular machine is being delivered, we'll leave it on the pallet. Connect the RSC 4000 to an air supply source. We recommend between 100 and 125 psi. Plug it into a 110-volt electrical outlet. We advise against using an extension cord. It's best to plug the machine directly into an outlet. Now you're ready to change tires. Congratulations!